Absolutely. Let's talk about Man City then, because I think it's a little bit more difficult to choose
Yeah.
whether to have three and which three as well. So just quick reminder of the questions. Is a triple up on Man City too risky? How important is Foden in terms of price and power points? We kind of already talked about Greenwood for that question. What to do with Mahrez? So I'll start with you this time first, Joe. What are you doing about who do you already own from Man City? Just remind us about that. And what are your plans with them going
I've
forward?
got KDB and Mahrez. I'm happy with it. It's the same principle as as Manchester United. You're going to get a red arrow. If you just own KDB, get a red arrow. Doesn't matter what he does. You'll get a red arrow because there's so many people captain him. So many people have Mahrez, Sterling, Foden. Jesus might eventually score. Or they might keep a clean sheet. Loads of people have got a Manchester City defender, maybe Edison. You can't just get by anymore with KDB. So I've got KDB and Mahrez. Very happy with them, and I would consider. Well, I've only got one more space there. I would love to have more, but Sterling or Foden, be one of those two. They're the ones I would go for. Kevin De Bruyne, expected goal involvement as well. I was obviously looking at that particular table before this show. But De Bruyne is top. There's no surprise there. But Mahrez is second, Jesus, and then Sterling, and then Foden. So it's showing how clinical Foden is. He's taking his chances there. But for me, I think KDB and Mahrez are the best, and one is Sterling, Foden. And I think I'm sick of getting red arrows from my players doing well, and it's starting to really annoy me. I'm wondering if there's a flaw with me or the game or something. That can't be fun. Hey, look, Greenwood's got 13 points, red arrow, and that's not right. That's not fun. So the only one is just get loads of them.
Do you think it's a risk at all?
Well, risk getting 3 Man City players in now.
Yeah, because obviously we saw just because of the benches, I suppose, that we know there's going to be rotation. We saw Mahrez and Sterling get hooked on 60. So next week Mahrez might not even start. Could be Foden, De Bruyne, maybe Sterling and Mahrez get a rest. Do you think that's a risk, or is it just a risk worth taking?
Southampton defence were amazing. Not every defence is going to play like that on that day. Not even the Southampton defence are going to play like that again. That could be it for them. I don't mind 30 minutes of Mahrez. I don't mind 30 minutes of KDB. With the way it's panning out, some of them might get a full rest. And as it's panning out into the cup games as well, there might be, Pep Guardiola might be thinking, shall I rest them for that? We might only see 59 minutes a match for Mahrez for the duration. I'll take 59 minutes of Mahrez. I'm missing out on appearance point, but he might have got a brace before then. I don't mind. With Man City and Manchester United, I don't mind. And there's so much value. If you've got Greenwood and Foden in the mix there's so much value. And Mahrez is really good value. He's sub 9 million, but he's performing like 10 million. That's just really, really good value. Foden, was he 5 point something? He's an 8 million midfielder.
Super cheap, yeah.
He's mini David Silva, but really cheap.
At
Joe Allen prices.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I saw a tweet actually by FPL Chance before we went live. It said Man City's 3 home games since the restart: 3-0, 5-0, 4-0, and the next 3 or their final 3 home games are Newcastle, Bournemouth, Norwich. So it doesn't really get much better than that. So I'll talk about what I'm going to do in a set. What about you, Az? What's your Man City plans?
Well, I kind of agree with Joe, but I also don't agree with Joe. That's unusual, isn't it? In the sense that I agree that KDB isn't enough. No. I think you have to make the decision right now, right at this second, whether you're going to back him till the end of the season and you're going to get in another 1 or 2, or you're going to avoid him completely. Because if you think the rotation is too much, I think you ditch KDB and you get in someone who you think is going to play more minutes and is going to hopefully outscore him. And you use that, the ultimate shield pick is De Bruyne because everyone's got him. Get rid of him and get in a sword who you think is going to score. I'm not doing that. Just for the record, that's why I've got Sterling in, because I think Sterling has the potential. He's got a 1 pointer against Southampton, but I think he's a player with the most likely potential between now and the end of the season of getting a 20-pointer. Based on the fixtures that they've got left. So I'm happy to run the gauntlet and try and get a massive haul from him. Three players you're really sort of, like I said earlier, I think you're really hoping that one of them gets a big haul, and I think that's okay because if you get Sterling, Mahrez, and De Bruyne, and Sterling gets 20 points and the other two get 2 points, just look at it as an average of three. You imagine they've all got 7 points. You know, you can look at it like that because you're buying loads of tickets to try and get a huge return. So I personally think that's the way to look at it. I can understand why people are doing it, and I think you've got enough options in there. I think Mahrez, Sterling, De Bruyne, and Foden are all great options. Foden's price is incredible at 5.3, but with Greenwood's emergence, I think it's less important than it would be if Greenwood wasn't in the picture. So if Greenwood wasn't around, I'd be getting Foden and I'd be looking to upgrade the rest. If I downgraded Son to Foden, I have no idea what I'd do with that extra 4 million. There's, it's very difficult to see how I would get use of that money. I mean, maybe I'd upgrade sort of Calvert-Lewin to Vardy, but then I've got a too strong a team, and I'd have to bench one of them, and the benching isn't really working, as you can see, because people have got strong benches and players aren't missing games completely. They're coming off the bench or stuff. That's the thing. You have a strong bench, but you're not kind of making the most use of it. So yeah, I think that's. I think two City players is a fun way to play the game because you've got potential. But I see people without De Bruyne, and I think Mark at the moment hasn't got De Bruyne, and I think it's a viable strategy. So it's just how you want to play, how you think it's going to go.